The movement must continue. See, we let it go to sleep. This movement's got to be woke up again.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Renee Unique with Unite Louisville, the Plug Network Online, and I hope everyone had a really good week. We had an up and down roller coaster as far as the weather. One minute was nice, 1 minute was cold, but I can't complain. I hope everyone was safe. And like I said, I always say thank you for tuning in and supporting Unite Louisville on your midday. And today, my guest, I'm so excited. This is a busy gentleman here. I'm telling you, Kenneth Forbes is in the house today with Unite Louisville. And as you can see, he's representing. He's got the sweatshirt on.
Yes.
Yes, Dad. So we have a lot to talk about, and we're going to talk about who he is, why he's doing what he's doing. He has a compelling story, and I'm going to allow him and to tell you his testimony. And he's also took his time. Let me tell you, we've been kind of going back and forth. I've been calling, texting, hey, you're going to come on the show, But he stays busy for a great purpose and doing lots in the community. So I applaud him for that. So how are you, Kenneth?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
you. So can you tell, there's a lot of people that watch the Plug that are not from Louisville. So we reach out to different cities and states, and we have a huge platform here on Unite Louisville. And I know your story, and I know why you're doing what you're doing, but there are some people that who's Kenneth? You know, why you're doing.
Yes.
So can you please tell us?
Well,
tell those who.
I'm Kenneth Forbes. I was born and raised in the city of Louisville, West End area. I had the misfortune of losing my son in 2012, homicide. He was 19 years old at the time. And when I lost my son, that was the biggest obstacle or biggest situation that I ever encountered in my life. And even though it's been, this year be 10 years in December, I lost him 2 days before Christmas. It's been a rough journey. It still is. But I've just found ways to deal with the loss, finding a coping mechanism to deal with the loss.
Right.
And his loss actually has given me more strength. And it's kind of weird in a sense, but nobody knows my son. Knew my son, they knew him at the time when he passed, but new people, the more I interact with, they never laid eyes on my son. And with his passing and what I do now, it's like the whole city knows my son and never met him. So his memory is living through me. And at that time, I think it was about 60-something homicides, and now that's what we're dealing with right now. I think we're on the pace of record numbers now. So when I lost my son, I was struggling trying to understand what was actually really happening. And I seeked out help for my mental, and it just wasn't working. Something just was not clicking with all the help that I was seeking. And I just said, this is going to be something I'm going to deal with by myself and find ways to deal with it. And the first of all is that I tried to get back in line with my faith because I lost well, you never lose your faith, but I was questioning God a whole lot, you know, not to get into too much religion.
We're in a lot of pain.
Why?
And it is always, it's not that you're turning your back on God. You're just like, why? Why are there things,
And that's just natural for any person to, asked that, and I had to figure it out. I mean, I was just lost. And
Right.
when somebody loses something significant like that, some of us don't recover from it. So it's from 2012 and 2016. I was just still figuring out my son's trial, come up with the moms group, Mothers of Murdered Sons and Daughters of Kentucky. It was myself and 3 other,
Right.
4 members. And the only thing we did was just conversate with each other over the phone and just help each other through the night. And then homicide after homicide. Friends that I know was losing their sons and daughters. So it wasn't like I could just back away from. The guys that was accused of my son's murder was caught. They was went to trial and they was handed a sentence. Everybody doesn't get that. And it's not even closure, but it's like somebody's held accountable for
someone's
for
held
that.
accountable,
Yeah.
responsible. There's some justice, but
Yeah, so I started the moms group,
right.
and it's just with all the homicides, it's just balloon. It's like sometimes it can be overwhelming, but I just think this is what my calling was after I lost my son. It's just to help people, because you never know tonight, tomorrow, and like yesterday, somebody went through the first day of the grieving process. I'm 9 years, almost 10 years into it, the grieving process, and I understand what somebody is going through. Maybe yesterday, tonight, tomorrow, next week, or whatever. I will understand what that pain feels like, because I'm a living testimony. I'm a living gun violence victim, and I'm a surviving parent of and it's really tough, and it's hard late night when you don't have anybody to reach out to cry out to, just to conversate with. And, I just made myself available for that in the beginning, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 a.m. Call me anytime, leave me a message, and I always respond. And that's what I've been doing since, I started the moms group, just being available for those who are struggling right now and don't understand what PTSD, what mental illness, and what grieving is, because I suffer from all of that. And we are afraid to even admit that these days, that mental illness does play a part in losing somebody, significant to you like that. So the more I talk and the more I talk about what I do to overcome, some anxiety that I have,
Right.
and I just share with everybody. And most people, well, I say 99.9% of the people believe that Mr. Forbes is really telling me the truth, because he's a victim. He knows exactly what I'm going through. So now we've expanded into a lot of one-on-one grief counseling meetings that we do Mondays and Wednesdays, first Mondays with the First Hour group, and they're from Southeast Christian. So I just stay busy a whole lot in the community, but I'm really behind the scenes a whole lot. But
we're gonna go on break. Go on break, and let's talk. We got a lot to talk about.
All right.
Hi, my name is Renee Unique with Unite Louisville on the Plug Network Online. Check me out every Friday at noon on your lunch break. Stay connected and stay plugged in. And welcome back again. My name is Renee Unique with Unite Louisville, and I'm here. Today's guest is Kenneth Forbes. And while we were on break, we was just talking about a lot of different things, and just listening to his story, I felt it in his spirit. I felt everything that he was saying. I felt it. His spirit and the adversity and the trauma, the pain, the passion, and just not only that, it's something that I discuss with other people all the time is you never know what someone else is going through, right? And a lot of us, sometimes just opening up your mouth and just making that phone call saying, hey, are you okay? Do you need something that helps people along the way? And then we were just talking about everything that is going on throughout the community right now and just being a part of the change. And you are a change maker, and how important it is for leadership, because we are in a city of crisis with all the youth violence, and you know that exactly. We have crossed paths many times in the
Correct.
community with the activism out here. And so you want to continue what you were talking about? And
Yes. Well, with the moms group, now we're currently doing grief counseling sessions with the smaller group. So maybe we meet once a month with the moms group, and now we're more concentrated on trying to get uh, uh, instead of monthly counseling group sessions, we're doing it 4 times a month now. And a lot of people are not really catching on right now because people are still in shock. It's hard to even talk about,
Right.
losing a son or daughter, a loved one to gun violence or whatever, but whatever circumstance, it's just very difficult. And I understand that. But you have to understand you got to be patient with people too. You got to always have open arms, but it's a process. And the process is sometimes not fast enough for people who wants to give help, but we still have to be there for them when they want that help, when they finally say, hey, I cannot do this by myself anymore. So it took me a while to understand that also. And since we've been doing those grief count, we have one coming up Monday. We do that with the Data Care 28th and Dumedale. And we meet there this Monday. And we have issues with, it's not even an issue, the men. The men are so important.
Yes.
And men are always asked to come to the forefront when we're dealing with these social issues. But
Right.
it seems like the community doesn't embrace men and fathers who lose their loved ones to gun violence. And I always get phone calls, say, hey, Mr. Forbes, we have want to question some of the members of the moms group. And I say, well, we need a mother. I said, what about a father? And
Exactly.
they said, well, yeah, but they're really asking for a mom. That's when the light bulb went on. And being the men fathers, no matter what the situation was, they need a platform also.
Yeah.
Men stay isolated.
Because it's more men, Black males, that are getting shot.
Yes.
That
There's fathers
right.
attached to those homicides also.
Exactly.
There are some fathers attached to every homicide, but they don't have a place where they can go and express themselves.
Right, to grieve, to relate to other parents, the support, the backup, the resource, the need is, yes.
And when we have events in the community, the first thing we want to reach out and say, hey, we need to get more brothers involved. But up until the event, the men and fathers need to be inclusive in position, to attend events and gatherings, be that face of the community, because men need to be the face of the community, but men stay so isolated. They don't express their feelings. So then we come up with the idea of saying, you know what? It's been trying with a moms group, this is just an overall blanket, but let me pull something from the mom to be strictly just solely for the men, and to come up with the dads. It's called Dads of Dads of Murdered Sons and Daughters. Instead of having the moms, you got the dads. So we come up with that to where, okay, all the men and all the fathers, all the uncles, all the male figures can come and we can just talk amongst ourselves, and we can figure out how can we be part of the community,
and
how
and
we
at the
can be
same time, right? At the same time, you're a mentor, right?
correct.
So you're guiding these people in a certain way in a healing process.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes.
A healing process. So
Yes.
what? I know we talked. You're involved in a mentorship right now.
Well, I'm looking toward being a mentor.
Okay.
To mentor families that are grieving.
Right.
But also I'm a member of the Moms Demand also. So I'm currently holding a position as City Gun Violence co-lead, and I'm in the legislative team with the Moms Demand. And that means that I will have more information on laws. How do we come up with solutions for gun violence prevention?
Right.
What are some of the key elements that can prevent gun violence prevention? Maybe holding gun owners more responsible for when guns or firearms are stolen out of the vehicle or the home, to report them a little bit more faster than what they've been doing. But have myself to be more educated on to make change, because I understand that we need to gather and talk about it, but we need to make change. And I really believe that in politics, it starts with the people. Politics starts with the people, meaning that we are responsible for who we put in office. We're responsible for who we elect to make changes. We're responsible for that. You know, our judicial system works, but it's the people that's in the judicial system, not judicial, but the whole system.
Right.
Can be.
We have to make it work for us.
Correct.
Right. You have to make it work for us. And I see the change. You know, we have changed, a shift in leadership, you know, and sometimes there's always a resistance, right? But with any change, like you said, is legislation. And we know there's a gap, right? So we know there's a gap between the community. We know there's a gap between police. We know there's a gap between politicians, right? And we know there's a gap between right and wrong. Okay. So sometimes there are people that may not understand, you know, the media puts out there, they always want to label and title certain areas of town and this high crime area in the West End. Every time we get in a deep conversation, we have to go on break. So I have a lot to say. We have a lot to continue talking about, but we're going to go on break. Hi, my name is Renee Unique with Unite Louisville on the Plug Network Online. Check me out every Friday at noon on your lunch break. Stay connected and stay plugged in. All right, guys, we're back. We're back. So, look, like, what we were saying, we were talking about the community change in politics and legislation. And I wanted to say real quick before Kenneth says what he has to say before we finish the show. So, just look at it like this. You have, I've been in healthcare for a while now. And so I see it from all ends, the balance, right? So, as a healthcare professional working at U of L in the trauma, I see a lot of people that come in with gunshots and literally have died in front of my face, right? And then I'm out in the community and I live in these areas and neighborhoods. And I also have family members that have died from gun violence. So that's why I'm so big on the community activism and supporting organizations like DADS with Kenneth. We march, we walk.
Yes.
We've had all kind of conversations, but one thing about it, we're doers, right? We servants for the community, and we push where we need to push and push buttons and sit behind doors. It takes all of us to be unified, one, to knock down those walls in Frankfurt, right? So that's what we have to do together. So Kenneth, just piggyback what I was saying, just to continue and let everybody know how they can support you, what type of things that you need, funding, and how they can get a hold of you on social media.
Yes. Yes. The most important thing is community. And when my son was murdered, I have always said love, and my piggyback off love others, violence in. And that was just one of the cliches that I use with the moms group, including the dads group. It's got to be a community effort. And we see that in the past that all violence was concentrated in one area of the city. Mm-hmm. Now you have shootings in East Louisville, South, West End, all around. And the demographics area of the city of Louisville is you can get anywhere in the city in 2 miles or less. It's not that big of a city. And that's what makes it so special that we do have a great city still, but we have to have a community that comes together. Right. So you can contact me on Facebook, Kenneth Forbes, or you can go to the moms page. It's called Mothers and Murdered Sons and Daughters of Kentucky. You'll see this logo with the moms. But the most important, you can do that, contact me. But there's a lot of groups out here that needs the support to keep moving forward, to try to slay this dragon that we're dealing with. You have so many support systems now for mental health and for drug addiction. And whatever you stumble across, tap into that. Right. And the resources are starting to be more available. Yeah. And the first with the moms group, I always just wanted to help people just talk. But now it's come to a problem where issue to where you got to have more resources and deal with the young 7, 8-year-olds who actually saw a body in their home or in the front yard before the ambulance and the police get there. There's a body, and there's a young sibling there. So we need to get more help for the mental for our young men and women who's struggling with that PTSD, who's acting out in school, can't function, and we just have to be more available for that. And that's what I'm looking forward to do in the next several months, is to try to have some type of resources for adolescents, and that's important. Just to reach out to all the groups out here doing great things. I'm affiliated with the ACE Project, Miss Rose Smith, great organization. There's mamas out here. There's Pulses Not Bangers. Just a lot of groups out here who's trying to give resources to a community that's struggling so much. And it's not about, the moms group. It's about everybody.
Right. And like we always say, it's not about us. It's a bigger
It
picture.
is. And the only way we're going to fix this is we all have to come together.
Yes.
We all have to come together to fix this. I don't say issues anymore. It's a problem that we're having in our community. So it takes everybody. It takes a village, as they say.
Even here, the summer.
We have
summer. Oh my God.
We at record pace right now to surpass with the number of homicides of maybe 30 already in the third month. So there's a lot of work to be done, but with the community being involved together, I think we can, push the brakes on it just a little bit. What's so exciting about the May primaries, November election, that we got a lot of new faces.
Right.
Young faces,
yes.
A lot of people that look like me and you that's in there.
Yes.
And I know the job that they're going to be handed to is very difficult, but that's why we have to support whoever we vote for. We have to support them because they cannot do it by themselves. You cannot lock your way up out of this situation. It has to be, a collective.
Right. And see, that's what the devil likes to do: lock up, steal, destroy. But that was a lie, right?
But I can.
It's a lie, so
I can sit here with you tonight and just learn yesterday that one of the perpetrators that was responsible for my son's murder would be paroled in May. May parole. So those are some of the. If you talk about the devil, those are some of the things that could be thrown at you to make you feel like, what is all this for? What is it all for? Because if I give up, there's a lot of people that I inspire. And if I give up, then what is there's left for other people to do? I don't call myself a motivator. Motivation comes within. I just want to inspire people.
Exactly. And sometimes we have to go through things. I tell people all the time, in order to have that voice, that passion, that leadership, and to relate to people, you have to go through something.
Yes.
Right. You have to go through something.
Yes.
God always uses his best soldiers because he knows the task that he has given you, you'll be able to complete the assignment. So here at Unite Louisville, everyone that comes on this show are completing their assignment. And, it is a big, huge problem, but we also have solutions, and we have warriors such as Kenneth and myself, and there's a lot of other organizations that are doing great things in building up the people, building up the community, building up the youth, to do whatever we need to do just to have a better way of life. So again, like you said, we have people that are running for office. Support those people that really, really, really are not only talking, but they have proven that they are capable and proven that they care about you and your household and the betterment of this community. I hope everyone have a blessed weekend. Thank you for tuning in. Hi, my name is Renee Unique with Unite Louisville on the Plug Network Online. Check me out every Friday at noon on your lunch break. Stay connected and stay plugged in.